Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to look at Izzet Creativity in Pioneer, which is one of the many combo decks in the format. We're going to talk about the cards that are played in the archetype, how to play the deck, and a bunch of the play patterns that are involved in the deck. So let's jump right into it. So this is Izzet Creativity. We're going to divide the deck into a couple different categories right off. So we have the combo, we have some enablers to the combo, and most of these enablers also draw cards and things like that. We have pure card advantage. We have removal and counter magic. So these are our categories. And we're going to kind of go through each one of the categories. We're going to start with the combo, just right at the beginning. Indomitable Creativity says destroy X targets and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until an artifact or creature card is revealed and exiles that card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So you'll notice that the only artifacts or creatures in the entire deck, besides sideboarded Hellbreaker Horrors, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, are Xenagos and World Spineworm. So if you are able to creativity for 2, so creativity, any of the tokens that we make with, Shark Typhoon, Big Score, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, or even the Sokenzan tokens or the Mutavaults, then you will always hit Xenagos and World Spineworm, provided you had not drawn it. You'll notice that World Spineworm is a 15/15 trample. The other text on it don't really matter as far as the combo goes. And Xenagos says at the beginning of combat, a creature gets +X and haste, or X the creature's power. So when you creativity for 2, you'll get a 30/30 trampler with haste, which should win you the game in most scenarios. So that's the combo. So how do we enable the combo? Now, obviously, we can't just play artifacts or creatures to be able to cast creativity onto, so we play things that make tokens that are artifacts or creatures. So first off, maybe the best card in the format and in standard is Fable the Mirror Breaker. So it creates a 2/2 goblin that when it attacks, it creates its treasure, both things that we can creativity. We can draw 2, discard 2 with its second chapter, which allows us to dig into our combo. And with its third chapter, it flips into Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, where we can pay 1 and tap it to copy a creature. It gains haste, and we sacrifice the beginning of the next end step, which again, we can hit with creativity to be able to hit our combo. We're playing Big Score, which is 4 mana instant. It's additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, which is totally fine because we have a lot of cards in our deck that don't really do anything in a lot of scenarios. And we draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure tokens. The draw 2 cards allows us to dig into our combo and other interaction, and the 2 treasure tokens we can hit with creativity or use as mana to be able to cast creativity. And then Shark Typhoon is sort of an alternate win condition. Being able to make sharks off of its cycling is really good, but also these sharks can be hit with creativity for the combo. Now, the other categories don't have a lot to do with the combo, but we do need to dig into the combo. So we're playing a 1 of Dig Through Time. It's weird to play more than that, especially in a deck that doesn't actually cast that many spells. But Dig Through Time to be able to dig into our combo and things like that. We play Impulse, again, just kind of be able to use mana on all of our turns and hit cards that we need. And a 1 of Valakut Awakening, it's just like, it's a fine land, and then sometimes it's fine to cast because, again, we often have a lot of cards that don't really do anything, and it's really important that we hit our combo pieces, especially in the main deck. We have our removal, so we're playing a 4 of Fire Prophecy. Fire Prophecy is 2 mana instant that deals 3 damage to target creature, and then we may put a card from our hand to the bottom of our library if we do draw a card. So the reason we're playing specifically this removal spell is that if we ever draw Xenagos or World Spineworm, we can't do our combo unless we literally cast Xenagos, and there's probably not any world that you're casting World Spineworm. So we want to put it back in our deck so we can creativity into it. There's also some scenarios that you might want to get rid of some cards in your hand. Maybe you're getting flooded or things like that, and you want to just draw a card instead. But really, it's in the deck to be able to put these 2 cards back in the deck so we can creativity into it, especially the World Spineworm. And yes, you can cast Xenagos. Normally, it's with the treasures. I'm playing a 4 of Fire Impulse. It's just 1 mana removal. Very often, it's 1 mana deal 3 damage instead of deal 2 damage in the deck like this, because this deck is effectively Izzet control with a combo section. Playing some Spike Field Hazards for more interaction, and also just more of a land count. And then Counter Magic, 3 make disappear, 1 Spell Pierce, which are both important cards to be able to both interact with our opponent and protect our combo, really. So the way most games play out is we interact and draw cards in the first few turns of the game. Then we play Fable, maybe cycle a Shark, or play Big Score, and then hopefully with Counterspell backup, but often without Counterspell backup, we creativity for 2 and hit our opponent for 30 trample. And that's the deck, really. To look at the sideboard, Aethergust is good against decks that are casting cards that are red or green, which actually a lot of the better decks are in Pioneer. Disdainful Strokes, again, pretty straightforward, right? If that casting cards in mana cost 4 or more that we care about. Negate, similar thing, but non-creature spells. Narset's removal's a fun one. You can copy target instant sorcery spell, then return to its owner's hand and choose new targets for the copy. So this is really good as like a way to stop other counter magic, or if we're playing against a deck that can remove things really easily that we creativity into, being able to creativity, then Narset's removal our own creativity means we can catch creativity, again later on. Maybe we're put the creativity back in our hand, but also it's like fine against like Thoughtseize and things like that. Mystical Dispute, again, for blue decks that are trying to counter our creativity. More Shark Typhoon if we're really looking for an alternate win condition besides creativity. Being able to just have sort of transform into an Is It control deck. Maybe sometimes even taking these targets out and playing cards like Shark Typhoon to be able to kill our opponent. And that brings me to the next card, which is Hullbreaker Horror. Again, in those matchups where you don't think you're going to be able to combo and you just want to be the Is It control deck, taking these two targets out and playing Hullbreaker Horror is very strong. Often when you take these two out, you take one like creativity out as well. Because then you can just play Is It Control, bring in the Shark Typhoons, bring in the Hullbreaker Horrors. If you can creativity into a Hullbreaker Horror, dope. If you can't, it's not a big deal. Just like control your opponent and cast it later on. You often want to do these against decks that are looking to counterspell your creativities, or decks that like can really easily interrupt your combo. And especially against decks that like overboard against your combo. And then Raining Volley, obviously 4 damage to target white or blue creature. Really good against spirits, really good against humans, really good against Greased Fang, etc., etc. So that is It Creativity in Pioneer. So if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.